Now they're moving in well for race number 1 in Sydney. The favourite on the Super Tab here for the first at Randwick remains number 1 Cap Chat, shortening up to 260 and 150. Number 2 Hot to Race is now 560 and 210. 4 So Keen 963 even, and the only other one under $10 is 11. Hawaiian Island now 720 and 210. Let's join Ian for the call of race 1 Randwick.
Draw on the outside of the line at the 1400 metres. They go about 400 metres before joining the course proper. And the starters come down to his stand, and they'll soon be off. Ready to run race 1 here at Randwick on the 4th day of the carnival. Stand by for action. Line looks pretty good. Racing. Rainbow Beauty wide out, one of the best to commence. Away well was Dupy and Hot to Race going to head the pair of them, followed closely by Continental scooting up on the inside. Not far away as they settle fully into stride. Then on the outside, Hawaiian Island over Akamura, Burette, and then So Keen on the fence. Behind those horses next as they travel about 300 metres, Rainbow Beauty getting back. Then Cap Chat and off the track, Victory Command over Sina Belina, Princess Natsky, and then My Pride and Joy from Honore de Balzac and 2 lengths to Stotwa. Over the 850 crossing, the Queenslander Hot to Race, a length Dupian and Hawaiian Island, Continental on the rails. One further back, Steamy Encounter. Off the course is the Kiwi Akamura, followed by So Keen, Burette, Rainbow Beauty. A length the Cap Chat, and then Princess Belina, My Pride and Joy, Princess Natsky, Honore de Balzac. Stott was second last, and Victory Command has been retired from the race. Around the corner they travel, and the leader is Hot to Race. Got away to Continental, Hawaiian Island, Dupian, followed by So Keen, and then Steamy Encounter, Burette and Rainbow Beauty, and Akamura head the others with Cap Chat going through nearer to the inside to pick up about 3 lengths, but Hot to Race at the 200 the leader. Cap Chat is starting to warm up now, but Hot to Race about a length and a half on Cap Chat, who's coming home pretty well. It's Hot to Race in front, 3/4 of a length on Cap Chat. Hot to Race clinging on and will hold the top weight. Hot to Race beat Cap Chat. Third was So Keen on the fence over Continental, Honore de Balzac, Princess Natsky, Burette, and then came Rainbow Beauty, My Pride and Joy. A gap then to Stotwa, followed by Akamura, Sina Belina, Steamy Encounter, then Dupy and Hawaiian Island, and failing to complete the course is Victory Command. The rider has dismounted from Victory Command. Gavin Duffy around about the 700, coming down to the 600, leading her as I speak.
On the Super Tab, 2 Hot to Race, $2.85 and $1.05. Number 1 Cap Chat to return 65 and 4 So Keen $1.40.
Photo call for, but no doubt Hot to Race number 2, Brian York, 6:10, 2:20. Over number 1 Cap Chat, who tried valiantly under her big weight of 57.5, and she was rapidly pulling ground off Hot to Race over the last 100, but the posters loomed up just a shade too quickly. Number 4, So Keen, will be third, and the dividend will be $3.50. The time, 1:22.9. They've gone along. 1:22.9 has beaten Quiet Queen's previous race record by 1/10 of a second. 1:22.9, and the breakdown is about to come up now as the numbers come up. Firstly, 2, 1 and 4. Hot to Race, Cap Chat, So Keen. Number 13 finished 4th, Continental. Number 14 was 5th, Honora de Balzac. Hot to Race by Revocious from Hot Block, trained by Noel Doyle, Ferrar Regato, and scored here on the Anna Lee last Saturday afternoon over the 1200, stepping her up to 14. Drew a wide alley, still too good.
Late Brisbane, race 2, a short neck by 3, 120.75 was the time on the 2nd at Doomben. Here's Ian at Randwick.
El Bailey Handicap, still no change on the tote board with number 1 Montana Sands, $1.50 and money back. And the second pick, number 2 Stonebrook Meadow, 5.30 and 160, and down to number 5, and that is Smell the Roses, 7.40 and 150. Montana Sands, a gelding by Bellotto, and has Kevin Moses in the saddle. Kevin leading the Jockeys Premiership on 75 from Larry Cassidy, who's on the second pick here, Stonebrook Meadow, and Larry on 53. Jim Cassidy on 49, and I was interested to hear Ron Duffy say this morning, with a bit of luck, Jim Cassidy might be back next Saturday. Repeating the first, if you've just got home, number 2 Hot to Race led pretty well all the way. Brian York, 6:10 and 2:20. It beat number 1 Cap Chat, $1.40 by a short head, and 4 So Keen, $3.50. Quinella, $6. Exacta was $15.30, and the trifecta, $76.10. Now they're coming up to line for the Bailou Handicap. Montana Sands the first in, having drawn the inside. This race named in honour of Mr. T.L. Bailou, the late Mr. Bailou. He served many years on the AJC committee and a period in which he was vice chairman. Now, very reluctant to go into the stalls is New Zip, and the rider Gavin Eads is off New Zip's back. And this locally trained horse, very, very cantankerous. Magnificent weather here. Fashions on the field continuing, and looks like the gentlemen are going to have their turn very shortly. See them assembling down here on the lawn in front of the paddock stand. Now, New Zip might just have gone in here. I can see Gavin Eads walking up towards the barrier stalls. Bob Thompson has Perfect Harmony and also Law of the Land in the race. Now, the rider Larry Cassidy has dismounted from Stonebrook Meadow. He was flattened, wasn't he, Stonebrook Meadow in the Golden Slipper. Talaga, a horse trained by John Morrissey in Canberra, is down the track at this stage, and also Law of the Land and Wainwright to move up. Montana Sands has been behaving himself absolutely perfectly. Third of the day, a lot of interest in the Bradshaw Group Hallmark Stakes. Good sponsors of racing and greyhound racing, the Johnny Bradshaw Group, and the Hallmark Stakes sees the appearance of Scalacci for the first time in Sydney this autumn, in a long-awaited appearance too. And I'm sure Scalacci has brought a few extra people to the track. Well, now, this Canberra horse, Talaga, has learned obviously from New Zip and is very cantankerous. And the Law of the Land is the other one away. Now, Talaga getting a little closer to the gates.
Try for these Brisbane Toads. Race number 2 at Doomben, 11.14, number 11, Angel Lorraine, 6.40 and 165. 1 If You Believe, 70 cents, and 4 Pose Mistress paid 135. Quinella, 11.75, trafficked 135.95. Next double 4 and 11, 24.55. Scratching 7, 20, 21, 22. That's race number 2, Brisbane. We'll check them again after Sydney. They're set.
They're racing. Montana Sands jumped nicely from near the inside. The early leader is Perfect Harmony. Stonebrook Meadow hopped into stride nicely, and so did Wainwright, followed by Smell the Roses, then Montana Sands. A gap then to New Zip, who's covering a little bit of territory, followed by Wrapped, and a couple to Talaga, and about 3 lengths Law of the Land. Wainwright races to a big lead as they come onto the course proper, and Wainwright must be about 4 lengths now on New Zip. Third, Perfect Harmony, followed by Stonebrook Meadow, 2 to Montana Sands, well held together. A length to Smell the Roses, 3 or 4 to Wrapped, another 2 lengths to Lager, and 3 Law of the Land. Along past the 750, no change in the pattern, and the pilot Wainwright, 2.5 lengths clear Perfect Harmony. Stonebrook Meadow moves to third, New Zip back to fourth, and fifth and pocketed the favourite Montana Sands after 3 Smell the Roses, being hard ridden with Wrapped on its inside. Second last to Lager, and 6 lengths Law of the Land as they round the bend. 500 out, and Wainwright by 2 lengths Perfect Harmony. Moses waiting for the run on Montana Sands, a length further back Stonebrook Meadow, followed by New Zip and Wonder Rap. Now as they race to the 250, here's the run coming for Montana Sands. You could drive a Bullock team through. Is he going to be good enough to take it? Perfect Harmony the leader. Talaga runs on. Montana Sands battles away on the inside. Here's Talaga. Talaga from Canberra. Forget Montana Sands. It's all Talaga, and Talaga races away to win it easily from Perfect Harmony and Montana Sands. Then Law of the Land, followed by Stonebrook Meadow, Rap, New Zip, Smell the Roses, and Wainwright was last.
A local victory, number 8, Talaga, to return $17.60 on Super Tab, and $2.75 the place for Perfect Harmony, $1.85, and 1 Montana Sands, money back $50.
$6. Number 4, Perfect Harmony, will pay $3.60. And number 1, Montana Sands, $1, probably $1.04. Talaga, prepared by John Morrissey in the National Capital, for R.K. Lees, P.M. Wilkinson and Ellen K.R. Hoyle, carrying the familiar Hoyle colours of yellow, dark blue diamonds, red sleeves and a red and yellow quartered cap. And Talaga, a chestnut filly 2, by Baccaroff from Faithful Thought, was written by Darrell McClellan. Perfect Harmony, a colt, Bio Brown in colour, by Kampala from Hasty Miss, trained by Bob Thompson, who had the dam. Grant Cooksley, the rider, and Montana Sands, a gelding by Bellotto from Hanina, Pat Webster, Kevin Moses. Well, the run seemed to come in plenty of time, but he only plugged when the opening arrived, Montana Sands, and on face value, he did look pretty disappointing. 8-4 official placings, Talaga, Perfect Harmony, Montana Sands. The fourth went to number 9, Law of the Land. It made up a lot of ground, and number 2 was 5th, Stonebrook Meadow. The margins, 1.5 lengths by 1 length. 1.5, 1, 124.2 the overall, 124.2. The first 600 took 35.5, and the last 600 took 36.9. So a boil over in the second, the Bailoo Handicap. More Sydney news coming up in just a moment.
Let's have a look at an up.
The 3 on the toties, $7.40. The favourite Scalacci, number 1, $2.20 and $1.40. Previous to 8, Talaga beat 4 and 1, Perfect Harmony and Montana Sands, and 2 Hot to Race won the first, beat 1, Capchat, and 4 So Keen. Well, Scalacci, written today for the first time by Simon Marshall. Scalacci's only ever had the 4 riders. Simon, of course, today, Damien Oliver, Darren Beedman and Stephen King. And hasn't won a race since the rider at Rose Hill last year. Can he return to the winner's stall today? We'll soon know. Set to run. They're off. And Scalacci jumped away nicely. So wider out did Silver Flyer looking for the lead. And here's Clan O'Sullivan racing the Silver Flyer to nose him. Followed by Galdarcher, Scalacci a handy fourth. And All Our Mob and 2 lengths to Bella Snap. A length and a half to Big Dreams. Followed by Renoki Boy. And then W Bet and Monsieur had dropped out to last. To the 800 and Galdarcher leads the way now by 2 lengths on Scalacci. Third on the fence about a half length away All Our Mob. A length and a half to Silver Flyer on the inside of Clan O'Sullivan. 2 Renoki Boy and then a gap to Bella Snap. Big Dreams on the fence. Oh, Monsieur almost sold out. It got onto the heels of W Bet as they round the corner now. They have 500 left to run and the lightly weighted Galdarcher shows the way. Into the straight comes Corey Brown on Galdarcher. About a length and a half All Our Mob. Scalacci given full rein by S. Marshall now. Followed by Silver Flyer, Clan O'Sullivan, W Bet or Galdarcher racing erratically, and All Our Mob shot through on the inside to race away. All Our Mob put 3 Silver Flyer, Scalacci forget him, W Bet running home, but All Our Mob will blitz its rivals. Down to the line goes All Our Mob to win it about 4 lengths. Silver Flyer second, W Bet third, and then Clan O'Sullivan with Big Dreams, Mazur. Lucky to stay on his feet, that fella from Galdarcher. Raced erratically in the stretch, followed then by Renoki Boy, Scalacci second last, and Bella Snap was last.
On the Super Tab 5, All Our Mob, 335 and 85. Number 4, Silver Flyer, 145. 6 W Bet, 175.
5 to pay $7.60 and $1.90. Number 4, Silver Flyer second, will pay $3. And number 6, W Bet, to pay $2.90. Galdarcher raced very erratically. Hampered Scalacci, but he was gone, I'd say, at the time, Scalacci. And All Our Mob strode through on the inside. W Bet ran home reasonably well. Galdarcher came across onto Clan O'Sullivan a little, but he was gone at the time. And Monsieur, who made up many lengths over the concluding stages, stumbled, seemed to get onto the heels of W Bet about the 700 metres, and Craig Carmody was lucky to stay aboard. The placings are 5, 4 and 6. Number 5, All Our Mob, Kevin Moses, beating number 4, Silver Flyer B. York, and number 6, W Bet G. Bosch third. Fourth went to 3, Clan O'Sullivan, and 2 was 5th, Big Dreams. The winner, trained by Brian Guy for A and Mrs. MM and E.H. Lyle, a 4-year-old chestnut gelding by What a Guest from All Sold. What a marvellous producing mare she's been. All Archie, etc. And All Our Mob has had 30 starts for 6 wins, 7 seconds and 7 thirds. Silver Flyer, a 4-year-old grey gelding by Ken Mayer from 2,400 metres. A little under 200 metres down to the judge and a round of the track. Now Popsy, ridden this afternoon by Jim Collett for Dave O'Sullivan. She's about to come forward. Ceto Flower in his right. Oaks Day, who ran second to Arborea in the BRC Oaks back in November. Oaks Day ridden by Noel Harris this afternoon. She moves along and Popsy is in. And here comes Constant Flight, the Kembla Grange trained Constant Flight moving up to the outside of the stalls. In she goes. And everything is set for the 1994 AJC Oaks 2400 metres. Stand by for a jump. Line looks pretty right. Sparkling Special drawn on the rails. And a couple of them a little unsteady, but they're off. Tiggy Touchwood a little slowly away with No Bellotto. Alcove is the early leader. Ceto Flowerian jumped out well, and Thrilling Day moving up looking for the lead from Sparkling Special. And then Skywatch and Constant Flight trapped a little deep, getting in closer now from Booked, and a gap of a length further away. Tiggy Touchwood going through inside Oaks Day. Arborea next on the outside of Rose Reward, and then Popsy followed on the fence by No Bellotto. And the last couple out of the straight, Royal Aria and A Reign of Honour. Thrilling Day is the leader, and heading out past the 1900 metres, and the leader Thrilling Day by 2 lengths on Alcove. Ceto Flowerian travelling third around Sparkling Special. A length then to Constant Flight, just caught a little wide over Skywatch and Booked, and then a gap of a length and a half Oaks Day, Tiggy Touchwood. One to Arborea racing a horse off the fence from a Rose Reward, and then Popsy followed by Royal Aria, who got a head up very high at that stage, about 2 lengths Reign of Honour and a neck to No Bellotto. Thrilling Day is the leader, working to the back of the course in the AJC Oaks and approaching the 1400. It's a leisurely run affair. Thrilling Day must be 3 or 4 lengths on Alcove. A length and a half Sparkling Special inside Ceto Flowerian. Constant Flight still out 3 deep from Book down, then Skywatch. 2 lengths further away, Tiggy Touchwood travelling on the inside of Oaks Day. A couple, Popsy and Arborea. Popsy 3 wide. Rose Reward is over on the fence. A length and a half to Royal Aria. Second last, Reign of Honour. And No Bellotto last 15 lengths from the leader, Thrilling Day. And as they wind out of the back straight and travel onto the High Street side at the 950, and Thrilling Day 2.5 Alcove. A length and 3/4 to Ceto Flowerian around Sparkling Special. 1 to Constant Flight Booked. A length then to Tiggy Touchwood, and then Popsy wide out between horses Skywatch, and then Oaks Day and Arborea. A length the Rose Reward, and then Reign of Honour and Royal Aria, and last of all is No Bellotto. They're starting to bunch up in the AJC Oaks, nearing the 600 metres, and Thrilling Day, the leader from pretty well the word go. 3/4 the break on Alcove. A length to Ceto Flowerian. Sparkling Special. Constant Flight Booked. Then Tiggy Touchwood. Wider out as the Kiwi filly Popsy. A length to Skywatch, Oaks Day, and then a gap to Rose Reward as they round the corner and up the rise. Thrilling Day in front, about a length Alcove. Ceto Flowerian battling on well, followed by Constant Flight, and 2 lengths to Sparkling Special, but Alcove races to a clear-cut lead. Little Patrick Payne on the Victorian. Alcove in full flight. Alcove has the Oaks safely won. Ceto Flowerian second, and down to the line goes Alcove to win it easily. It's Alcove from Ceto Flowerian. Dead heat third, Booked and Constant Flight from Sparkling Special. Rose Reward, Thrilling Day, Oaks Day, and then a gap to Arborea, Tiggy Touchwood, followed by No Bellotto. Another 2 lengths to Skywatch. Long margin Popsy, and she beat a couple in Royal Aria and Reign of Honour.
Couple 123.10.
On the Super Tab, 2 Alcove to return $6.45 for the winner, and $1.70 the place. Number 8 Ceto Florian to return $1.35, and those for third 11 Booked at $3.05, or number 3 Constant Flight $1.15.
Ceto Flowerian, ridden by Rod Quinn, has run second, and she'll pay a tote divvy of $2.80. I'll just check that for number 8. A bit indistinct on the infield board. It looks like $2.80, and the judge has called on a photo finish for third. 2.8 and a photo finish, the 2 in it for third. It's awfully close from where we view. Number 11, Booked, was showing at a 7.40, and the other one there is 3 Constant Flight. She was forced to cover a lot of ground, $2.10. So could go either way for third. 2.8 and a photo finish in the Oaks of 1994, with Alcove winning, and winning it very, very easily indeed. Just having a look at that slow-mo for third. 11 Booked and 3. Very hard to say on the slow-mo, but here's the number coming up. 11 is third, and that is Booked, written by M. Evans. So it's 2, 8 and 11, the official placings after the running of the Oaks. The winner by El Quahira from Bridgette, a 3-year-old chestnut filly trained by Tom Hughes Jr. at Flemington for J.H. Hanrahan, and ridden by Patrick Payne. Number 8, Ceto Flowerian, a brown filly 3 by Bellotto from Yatesina. Always travelled well up in second to third place outside with no cover. Paul Cave, Rodney Quinn, And 11 booked a brown filly 3 Pine Circle, tested at random John Hawkes, Michael Evans. Number 3 ran 4th, that was Constant Flight. And a further photo has been called to determine the superfecta placings of 5th and 6th. Now here's the overall time. It's 2:34.3. 2:34.3. Ali ambled. That's 4 seconds outside Shirako's race record. The sectional time, the first 1200 took 1:22.1, but they haven't clocked the last 600. First 1200 in 1:22.1. Now here are the full superfecta numbers: 2, 8, 11, 3, 13 and 9. Thrilling Day ran 5th, and 9 Sparkling Special in 6th place. Arborea obviously raced like a tired filly, Arborea, and she got beaten a fortnight. Constant Flight covered a lot of ground. Popsy, well, the edge is off her. Maybe last week when she raced in the Derby, that has taken the edge right off Popsy. She was forced to cover a lot of ground too from about the halfway. But Alcove has blitzed them. She's won by a very, very handy margin, and a very commendable and a courageous run by Cito Flowerian, and booked in 3rd place. 2, 8, 11, 3, 13 and 9. The superfecta on the AJC Oaks. We'll have more in just a moment.
Okay, let's update race number 4. 10, 1, 16 selections off Melbourne.
And a pretty good line too. Out in the centre here, Toll Bell. From wide out in the track, Ahura out quickly with Our Fun Son and Brig Bistro heading forward now. Notwithstanding behind those from Vamos, Amphitryon, 3 Pals. Further back, Top Guy. Zeffirelco Bay, followed by Rob's Reason. Further back in the race, then Swift Talent. Easing back, Title Top, Raja, Supreme Grey Version, Toy Image. At the 1200, Our Fun Son is left in front down on the inside, led by 3/4 of length, Toll Bell. 2 lengths further back in the race, Ahura 3rd on the outside of Brig Bistro, and they're going pretty slow in front. 1.5 lengths of the 1,000-metre mark to notwithstanding Zeffirelco Bay, Rob's Reason. Vamos on the inside of Amphitryon, Top Guy 3 deep, a length further back, 3 Pals. Swift Talent on the inside, and 2 lengths, Raja, Supreme, Title Top, and then Toy Image, and last of all, Grey Version. At the 800-metre mark, and the leader here is on the inside, Our Fun Son. 1/2 to Toll Bell, 1.5 lengths, Brig Bistro from Ahura. Zeffirelco Bay tracking deep. Rob's Reason going up in the centre, about 3 lengths off them. Pulling to the outside and going forward now, Zeffirelco Bay's taking off, and then notwithstanding Top Guy, Amphitryon, Vamos, Raja, Supreme and 3 Pals. On the bend they race, 500 to go. Toll Bell goes up on the outside of Our Fun Son, followed by notwithstanding, trying to get a run up on the fence. Further out, Rob's Reason from Zeffirelco Bay. Then Top Guy as they run down towards the 300-metre mark. Toll Bell in front, notwithstanding's driving up on the inside. Further out in the track is Rob's Reason. It's Toll Bell, Our Fun Son, and notwithstanding the rail. Notwithstanding Toll Bell and Our Fun Son from Top Guy. Toll Bell won't give in on the outside. Coming back is Our Fun Son. Hit the line. I think Toll Bell on the post. Toll Bell perhaps in a 3-way go from Our Fun Son on notwithstanding. Behind those, Top Guy from 3 Pals and then Grey Version. Brig Bistro, and further back in the race then on the outside. Toy Image, behind those Amphitryon, then Vamos back to the rail, followed by Ahura, Zeffirelco Bay, Rob's Reason pulling up quickly with Swift Talent, and Raja, Supreme and Title Top.
If Toll Bell gets a double, 108.50.
And the win in place, number 5, Toll Bell, 15.20 and 4.60. 10 Our Fun Son, 4.20 and 6 notwithstanding at 2.50.
Super Tab 5 Toll Bell to return $7.15 and $2.05. Number 10 Our Fun Son to return $1.60 and a 6 notwithstanding to pay $1.35. It is correct weight on the first event at Ascot in Perth. 731 correct weight Perth.
Number 5 Toll Bell on the outside. Back from 2,400 metres in the Manion Cup, has beaten number 10, and that is Our Fun Son, and notwithstanding number 6 is 3rd. 5, 10 and 6 after the photo. 5, 10 and 6. Refused to give in this horse, and suited by the slow pace.
All right, more from Melbourne shortly.
A delay in Sydney. Pharaoh's Caster played.
In the preliminary, I don't know, but that's a rarity. There's Gavin, the Doncaster winning jockey, of course, on Pharaoh. Hot footing it up towards the 1,800 metres, and here's some action coming through from the office. Hello.
Regway Brisbane, 4.1
Okay.
Newcastle.
Thank you. Right, well, that's the confirmation that Pharaoh's cast the plate, but obviously Gavin is walking up towards the 1,800 looking for the plate. Anyway, there will be a delay. On the tote at the moment, number 1, Durbridge, $2.80, $1.60. And the second pick in New South Wales is number 4, Pharaohs, $6.50 and $1.90, and $7 each of 2 numbers 9 and 10, Kingston Bay, and it's all in fun. Now, the 3 Clarks of the course are up near the 1,800 metres. Gavin Eads is up there, and they're all trying to find the missing plate. So whilst...
Let's hope they can find it. They might be able to hand it round at church tomorrow, the plate there. OK, let's check some dividends. Race plates on Pharaoh. Let's go back to Sydney, Ian.
No. Line looks pretty good. Marek is keen to get on with it. Racing. And the best to begin on the inside, Romney Conti. Away well was Durbridge, and likewise Fra, then Pharaoh, Soho Square. Marek is getting across onto the fence. Second last, it's all in fun, and a length the Kingston Bay. Only a half dozen lengths covers the field as they travel about 300 metres, and Durbridge takes up the running now. A little over a length clear on Soho Square. Third on the fence is Fra. A length the Pharaoh starting to pull a little, the horse off the fence around Romney Conti. Then it's all in fun. Second last is Marek, and Kingston Bay is last. Durbridge getting his own way in the lead along the back of the course and heading to the 1400. Durbridge by 2 Soho Square. Third on the fence is Fra, and just over a length's gap to Pharaoh. Followed a length further away Romney Conti. 1.5 to a Kiwi. It's all in fun racing around Marek and Kingston Bay, who's sitting behind It's all in fun last and about 8 lengths from Durbridge. Onto the far corner they run at the 1100. There's no significant change in the order, and Durbridge by 2 lengths on Soho Square. A length further back is Fra. At his quarters on the outside Pharaoh, and then Romney Conti. It's all in fun. A couple to Marek and 3/4 further back, and one off the fence Kingston Bay. Well, Durbridge getting things all his own way in front in the Queen Elizabeth Randwick Stakes, and over the crossing at the 850 to the 800 now. Durbridge by 3 lengths on Soho Square. Far back on the inside, 2 Pharaoh, Romney Conti the rails. Then it's all in fun. Marek being second last, Kingston Bay's last. Simon Marshall quickens up a little on Durbridge coming up to the home corner, and Durbridge puts 6 lengths on Soho Square. A length away third is Pharaoh, followed by Fra, and then Romney Conti. It's all in fun. Marek and Kingston Bay. They straighten for the run of the judge, and Durbridge a half dozen lengths. Pharaoh and Soho Square, followed then by on the outside It's all in front. Durbridge and Marshall pulls the whip, but Durbridge is still about 4 lengths. Pharaoh followed by Romney Conti and Soho Square. Durbridge is making a beeline towards the outside rail, but he's got the Queen Elizabeth Randwick Stakes well won. Atoning for his second to Vianda Cross last year. He blitzes them today. Durbridge from Romney Conti and Marek followed home by Soho Square. A gap then to Pharaoh, Kingston Bay, followed by Fra and Absolute. It's all in fun.
Number 1, Durbridge to return 130. The win 75. The place number 8, Romney Conti to pay 135 and 5. Marek on Super Tab 150.
Quite obvious a long way from home that he was going to be the horse to beat. Number 1, Durbridge, ridden by Simon Marshall, $2.70 and $1.50. Second placing goes to number 8, and that's Romney Conti, ridden by K. Moses, or will go to Romney Conti, $3.60. And number 5 will be third, Marek, ridden by G. Boss, and the tote dividend $3.60. Durbridge second in it last year, behind Vianda Cross with Rough Habit third. And he was able to go one better today. He wanted to hang out off the track over the concluding stages, getting towards the outside rail, but was much too good. 1 and a photo finish. The winner, Durbridge, a 6-year-old chestnut horse by Durham Ranger from Arcona, trained by Lee Friedman for the Noonamar stud, managed by Kay Murphy, and also Mr. K. Loren shares in the ownership. 55 starts now, 16 wins, 8 seconds and 7 thirds. And today's prize money was $136,000. Add that to his already illustrious tally of $2,595,073. Randwick, scene of one of his greatest triumphs too, of course, Durbridge, when he won the Derby. 185 are official now. Romney Conti second, a 5-year-old bay mare, Sir Tristram Riche-Borg. El Laxon, Cambridge, New Zealand, Kev Moses. And 5, Marek is a 6-year-old chestnut gelding, Roberto River of Stars, David Hayes, Glen Boss. 185. That's the story of the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. The time was 2:3.9. 2:39 is 2.2 outside the race record held by my Blue Denim and Vianda Cross. The sectional times coming up now. First 1,000 in 65.3. The second sectional time is for the last 600 metres, 35.7, and a developed print for 4th and 5th. A developed print for 4th and 5th. The 6th, the Swept Sydney Cup. There are no scratchings, a field of 13 to run. Now let's go to Rod. He's going to have a final check on the top 3 in Adelaide.
OK, we'll have a look at Randwick now. Ron Duffy, his thoughts on the next.
Care for the Swept Sydney Cup, and what a good field we have here. The 2 favourites, Milltack and Hear That Bell, they've both been presented in outstanding order. I've got a big liking for Hear That Bell.